all of the wrong choices. I wasn't eating, and I was only eating like grapes and lettuce and would only drink water.
4.
I was as thin as I could be. Were you?
5.
Ever been? And that's coming from somebody who was only eating somewhat salads,
6.
fruit and lettuce and water and maybe ice right before it back.
Yeah, this bitch is lying. Get the fuck out of here.
Alright,
Oh my god, is that a new viewer? Yo, hurry up and subscribe so we can get into this video.
Is being fat?
Come on, we waiting on you, bro. Hurry up.
Is a choice. Is being skinny?
You subscribed?
Let me know.
I'm sorry.
Alright, shh. Come on, let's get into the video. Let's get into the video.
Between the people who are telling people go out and get fat versus
Alright, I really want to hear this.
She's not
I really do.
accept me the way I am.
You don't really break this down, so if you want to watch the full video, then go ahead, watch the full video. Pretty sure they just yapping right now. Well, I'm yapping right now, so.
To be wearing a G-string in the middle of public, then you're the problem.
Alright, here we go. Middle ground. Plus size and then
fat
skinny.
or skinny is a choice. Agree?
Being fat, okay. This is a double standard. I might be biased, whatever. I grew up always skinny, right? Being fat is a choice, dude. Because, listen, being skinny is not a choice. Because I'm not going to lie, if you grew up in a household that you got to eat cereal in the morning, you got to eat cereal for lunch, you don't got no food, bro. There's nothing wrong with that. But because you have no food and you grew up in such a, a little poor household, which is nothing wrong with that, then it's a choice to be, it's not a choice to be skinny, bro. You just don't have no food in the house. Now, if you fat, you didn't just all of a sudden be fat. Don't get me wrong. There's people in this world that, got problems, and that's why they're fat. Most of the time, motherfuckers don't got no problems, bro. They just fat as hell. They just fat as hell. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think being fat is a choice. I don't think skinny is, though.
Of course, not every factor is purely choice. I don't think that every factor is, but I do think a majority of it is. And in most cases, for most people, being skinny or being fat is about
skinny. I don't know though, because bro, if you poor, bro, you can't eat. You can't eat.
But who you choose to associate with, what sort of things you choose to listen to, who you choose.
I don't think being
have
skinny
your
is a
friends
choice,
around you and support
which
you.
it is to
All
some
of
people.
those
Some
things are
people it's
choices
not.
that you can make that will lead you closer towards being one or the other.
I know what I do with my body. I know what I put into it day in and day out.
Exactly.
I choose what to eat some days. I choose, how I want to look. And
nah, that dude is skinny though.
For how they want to look.
He need to eat.
But I think it's a choice.
I'm not gonna lie, he gotta eat for
I'm
sure.
Very, always wish-washy on how I want to be presented and if I want to gain weight or not. But the only person that's gonna gain the weight at the end of the day is me and me myself.
For me, it's calories in, calories out. Go to the gym, you'll get buff. Don't go to the gym, you won't get buff. I understand that there's genetics that could cause you to want to eat more, but even with the genetics that cause you to want to eat more, the same.
I think I'm gonna like
calories
increase
in, calories out.
I think
it's a long video.
Choice is, always determined on who they are, and it's not going to just be a thing done overnight.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of. I think it's like breaking the barrier and breaking a lot of things, not only your body but also breaking your mental state.
Sure.
And again, that depends on who you are and what you want to go through.
Disagreeers?
What are these? Like, listen. It's always the fat motherfuckers that say there's no choice of being fat. Let me tell y'all something, bro. Listen to this, please. So, how many fat people have you seen? Right? Listen, you okay? Let me lock in. How many fat people have you seen actually eat food? Listen, every fat person I have ever met in my life, we go out to eat, go to a restaurant, just grab some food real quick. Oh, I'm not too hungry. I'm not too hungry. All right, I'll just get a little snack. Oh my God, I'm full off of 6 chicken nuggets. No, you're not. No, you are not. I know you're hungry. I know you see the full menu. You ain't eating 6 chicken nuggets. You don't eat only 6 chicken nuggets at home, buddy. I don't care what nobody says. Every time I see a fat person, they never eat in front of nobody. Which might be an insecurity, and I might be a dickhead, but hey.
I felt like as a toddler,
Let's see.
I always viewed myself as big. I grew up in a very poor home, so where my mom couldn't provide the meals that she could healthily. So when we would get free meals, even then it would be canned food, and it would be very much food that's not as edible. It was food for us, yes, but then I felt like once it reached a point where I was old enough to try to make my own choices, I made all of the wrong choices. I wasn't eating, and I was only eating grapes and lettuce, and that was
You're telling me if I eat grapes and lettuce all my life, you'll look like that? Let me hear what you gotta
Mainly
say.
because I was in a sport, and that
Strike 2.
sport just worked me out so hard. And it was to the point where I just was scared to eat. I
3.
didn't like it. I would only drink water.
4.
For eating grapes and lettuce, were you thin?
I was as thin as I could be.
Were you so
5.
big though?
I was still big, but that was the skinniest I've ever been. And that's coming from somebody who was only eating somewhat salads that are just
6.
fruit and lettuce and water and maybe ice right before a practice.
Dude, this bitch is lying. Get the fuck out of here. I just said I just eat ice. Like a big motherfucker. I only eat ice before practice. I only eat ice before practice, bro. What are we
Do you
talking
think that
about,
right
bro?
now you would not be capable of becoming a thin woman if you wanted to?
What are we
possibly would be
talking
capable of
about?
becoming a thin
You
woman,
are
but since I
capable.
was young. I was supposed to get blood tested probably when I was very,
It's
very
bro.
young, and I never did.
I'm
And
not
they
gonna
had
lie,
mentioned that
like
it could have
weight.
been because of my
Weight is the
and how it
only
connected with my
thing.
thyroid.
Well, it's not the
I
only
never made
thing, but
connections,
it's
and I never had
weight
like
is
that,
so hard to
like,
talk about
being a parent
because
to be like, go and get checked out,
when
go
it
and
comes
this,
to
like,
being
your
fat
weight
or
is probably not
skinny,
your fault. It was always,
nobody
like,
wants to
your
hear the
weight is your fault,
truth,
it's your
and that's why
And I also
people
know
maintain being fat or
being
maintain
thyroid
being
and
skinny because
blood
they
issues.
avoid
I'm
the
not
truth,
quite
so they
sure,
can't
but
really
to
improve
see
on
an
nothing.
endocrinologist and I go see a doctor, it's a choice to do the requisite steps. It's a choice.
Yeah,
to
I
go
don't know why
grocery
this is
shopping
even a
instead
debate.
Of going to fast food when it's easy. It's a choice when you're grocery
Yeah.
shopping to go to the outer aisles and like not go into the bread section and not go into the junk food section. These are all choices.
As a
For
disabled
sure.
woman, I can't do a lot of the things that people say.
How is she
calories in, calories
disabled?
out, oh, you got to go work out and exert it. A lot of the things that are typical of this.
How's she disabled?
Put me in the hospital. I have to navigate weight differently. I have to look at it differently. My weight is the way it is because of medication, because doctors put me in this position, and I had to learn. Okay, am I going to be so hateful of my own body that I am going to backlash? and put
That's what I was
myself
saying
through
earlier, though,
extreme
like-
gym nights, through keeping myself from eating things that I should be able to eat. You should be able to have a balance. You should be able to go into the junk food aisle like others.
Not
skinny
really.
people do,
I mean,
and
no,
still
I'm
not
not
have to
gonna
worry
lie.
about gaining 20 pounds.
But I
To be honest, like you really shouldn't be eating junk food. Like no matter what it is, bro, you should not be eating junk food or like that's just, bro. I mean,
Skinny people go into this.
it's just like a chemical imbalance. I think, in my opinion, like you really,
I mean-
you don't need to
Yeah.
eat junk
My
food.
DoorDash would tell you otherwise. Like,
There's a thing called set points. There's a ton of research on it that your body likes to be at specific weights. It likes to be in a specific way. So if you are fighting
can say that
yourself
about anything,
to lose
though.
weight by not eating, over exercising, and you are damn near killing yourself to be at a specific weight, your body's unhappy.
It's important to note
Is
that
she trying to support being fat?
a choice can be harder for people to make due to conditions in their life, but at the end of the day, it's still a choice. I could say that I have
Exactly.
to food when I was
It's a
stressed and this
chemical
and this,
imbalance.
and so it's harder for me to choose it than for someone who has like the perfect lifestyle, someone who has parents who are giving them this and that and this. But I definitely still acknowledge that it was my choice at the end of the day. when I go
Exactly.
there and I
What?
look
Why?
up
How is
food,
this an
I order a second
argument?
hamburger,
How is this a
I'm the one
debate?
choosing whether or not I order that second hamburger. I'm the one making that choice.
Starting with a blank
100%.
page can be overwhelming.
I'm not gonna lie. I gotta get
Grammarly
YouTube
gives you a
Premium,
head
bro.
start.
I don't even know if I'm gonna
Simply
edit this
type
because this is such a
prompts
long video. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
You all right?
I don't know. I've been feeling kind of lost lately.
Here we go. This is a long ass ad.
Thanks, BetterHelp, for supporting this channel. Now, let's get back into the episode.
I would rather be skinny than fat. Can the agreeers please step forward?
I think there's a lot of different struggles when it comes to being a bit bigger, and I have a
Wait. What's?
Be skinny.
Thanks, BetterHelp, for supporting this channel. Now, let's get back into the episode.
I would rather be skinny than fat. Can the agreeers please step
If I had a choice, I would rather be skinny. Yeah, I would definitely rather be. Why would I want to be fat? Why would I want to be?
I think there's
Okay,
a
let me
lot of
not get
different
canceled.
struggles when it comes to
Let me
being
shut my
a
ass up.
bigger,
Let me not get canceled.
And I have a sister that is very she's 400 pounds.
Damn!
Body
400.
demand to shower is really, really hard. So I do think for like an overall happy life and like zero struggle, I think I'd rather be skinny.
To be fair, there's less diseases and less what's the word? Less diseases and stuff you can get being skinny than fat. It's
I think that
it's hard to
is
maintain your body if you're
common in
fat.
society to want to
It's
be
easier to be
I think
skinny.
the average person typically wants to be skinny. I'm actually surprised that I didn't see more people come.
Yeah, I don't know. I really okay. Watch when the fat people come, they're gonna say they're just gonna say that they love their body. They don't care what it is.
I'm also
you
really
just gotta
tall,
love
6'6",
yourself.
so I kind of wish I could just pick a single struggle because finding the clothes and things like that when you're bigger both ways can make it really hard. So if I was skinnier,
Nah, yeah, 6'6" and being
also,
like
I've
fat.
got, 2 kids and a wife, and I'm taking care of them. And as you pointed out, I definitely think that
Let me hear what these fat ass people got. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
I had the most body insecurities when I was small. I was constantly living in fear of gaining weight and having people tell me, oh, don't gain weight, don't do this, make sure that your weight is the same. And once I finally gained weight, I realized that first off, life wasn't over. I didn't feel any need to not engage in life the previous way that I had, and the attention that I got was different. But even as a smaller person, you get negative attention, and rather than trying to
Bro, you get negative attention regardless. It don't
control
really.
my body to avoid that negative attention, I would prefer to address the situation as a society, make it more accessible for everybody to where we aren't feeling like I have to be a certain way that's normal in order to be treated like a human being and respected.
If I could counter, because I was a bit bigger when I was younger, and that's when I was the most insecure. I would look in the mirror. I did have.
It just depends how you
that
grew
were
up.
skinny,
If
but
you
then
grew up
afterwards, I
fat,
was
then you
much
want to be
bigger,
skinny. If you grew up
and
really
just
skinny,
the way
then
that
you
I
want to
perceived
be
myself, I hated it, and I
thicker.
even became anorexic to like not be big.
I don't think skinny always equates to being healthy.
Exactly.
No, it doesn't.
I am fairly skinny. I'm 6'5". I'm 140 pounds last time
Holy
I checked, and I'm
shit.
severely underweight. And I know about this on a day-to-day basis. That
Holy.
being said, I don't know where I want to lean at an appropriate weight level, but I think it's important to understand for some skinny people, we're not living a great life by any means. And sometimes I feel like that's always kind of lost in translation when they see someone who's really skinny.
I guess it depends on what you mean when you think of the term skinny. Are you thinking of just like an average weight person?
Nah, yeah, because skinny.
I'm the average weight for like women in America. So if we're talking
Bitch, please.
average,
Fuck
like,
out here. I'm not gonna lie, your boobs probably weigh more than me, buddy.
if
I'm not even trying to cut ass. Your boobs weigh more than me. That
biggest priority is to be in a smaller body, you need to reassess your priorities.
Bro,
Not
what?
focused on health.
Yeah.
And the immediate tie between skinniness and health that you emphasize, there is such a gap between the research, because the research has a huge fat phobic bias in it, and there has been research
Yes.
that shows that they aren't, even especially during, let's say, COVID and the correlation between obesity. They rushed through those studies so fast because in society's mind, oh, of course a fat person is going to equal someone who's going to get sick faster, is going to get sick easier. It was an easy jump. So they didn't do all
I
the
mean,
testing.
like if you're
They
like
check their bias.
insanely skinny, then yeah, you're gonna get
Bias,
sick
you're
faster
saying that
too.
The study didn't
But if-
account for the variable that obesity may also take a factor into. It's just that there's so many variables in humanity that these pharmaceutical companies can only account for so many during their trials, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're biased. However, if you want to talk about bias in studies,
This girl's
actually
smart, bro.
recently we've been doing the opposite. So for instance, a lot of our studies have been based on BMI, and so we've been showing that, fat people aren't necessarily
think it's body
extremely
fat.
unhealthy if we look at people with a certain BMI.
Right? Body
However,
fat, body
bodybuilders
mass.
also have a really high BMI, and so they get counted into that category. And so it wasn't until very recently that they equated for that mistake, and it shows, oh my goodness, being fat is actually extremely unhealthy, like way, way more unhealthy than we ever realized.
You can't gauge health by looking at somebody.
Yeah.
Like none of my health issues, all of them precipitated my weight gain, but I always get assumed.
See, now she's saying you can't assume by how you look, right? So, if you're fat and I tell you, okay, run 2 miles, and you'd be like, oh, well, I can't do it. What's your excuse then? You're out of shape? Okay, why are you out of shape?
Oh, don't you want to be skinny so you
Okay.
don't have the cane anymore and you don't feel the way you feel? And it's like, no, because I have lupus and I'm always going to feel like this. Like I have CRPS. It's going to deteriorate. It's going to continue.
America has an obesity problem.
We are always
Why does it
in
keep on
motion.
showing ads? Like, why did they put
Sometimes
ads
it's a blur.
right when they ask the question, bro? This is now I gotta edit all this, bro. I'm gonna skip that question. I didn't really like that.
Fat shaming is worse than skinny shaming.
Fat shaming is worse than skinny shaming. Fat shaming is worse than skinny shaming. I think it's just as equal. Cause my thing is, right, there's so many people that be like, they'll call me like a stick, right? So if you call me a stick, I should also have the right to call you a fat bitch that don't stop eating McDonald's, that gotta lick the back of their fucking hands when they eat a burger. And then when somebody asks you, do you eat before brushing your teeth or after, and you say, yes, I eat before and after because you're fat as fuck and you have 2 breakfasts and you have 2 snacks at night and then you have to eat at night and then wake up and to eat and eat and eat and eat, I should be allowed to say that. I'm just saying. Fat bitch.
So I do agree that fat shaming is worse than skinny shaming. Just overall, entirely, the way that people like comment on people's weight compared to somebody skinny, they usually don't comment on somebody skinny. They don't think there's something wrong with them. They don't, like, they'll maybe say like, oh, you're very thin. Do you want to eat a cheeseburger? But that's not as bad as telling somebody you eat 10. Stop. And you don't.
It's the same thing.
Know that
What are we talking about?
Fat shaming is a systemic problem. You're not gonna not get a job because you're too skinny. Skinny bodies are praised in our society.
Dude, Lizzo is a model. Do you think Lizzo actually is a model? No. It's because we're embracing fat people, and why? Let me not get. I can't. I'm not getting canceled. I can't talk
other
about
people,
that,
but
bro.
I get a lot of comments on my Instagram that are saying like, "You're really beautiful, but you would look a lot better if you lost 50, 60 pounds."
That's their opinion. What you mean?
Something that I always get a lot of comments on is my masculinity as a man because of how skinny I am. It's always something that I've always kind of dealt with.
That's what I'm saying. You can't. They
sickly a Victorian child, and
that's horrible.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh at
No,
that.
no, no. I don't. It doesn't bother me as much. But this idea that skinny people can't also get these kind of comments are just kind of mind blowing. That doesn't mean that they're,
Exactly.
that one side is getting it worse than the other. I think that there are both sides getting piled on
Exactly.
at different varying degrees.
I think we're conflating two things as well. So there's a difference between fat shaming and fat discrimination. Fat shaming is an aspect of fat discrimination, but some of the things you were touching on are specifically societal and systemic fat discrimination that goes into our medical system. It goes into employment. It goes into all of our
She's
civil
smart.
rights. As fat people, that skinny people don't necessarily have that same issue. And I come from cultures where they straight out called out skinny people. Oh, you look like bones. Oh, flaca. All of that.
That's
so
what I'm
I
saying.
watched my cousins go through it. I went through it when I would get too skinny. As people, we are just too scrutinized when it comes to our bodies. We don't let people
Word.
live.
But I think that's a good point. You said you were called skin and bones when you got
Not
to
my cousin.
But your cousin. So people using shame as a motivator.
Dang,
to get your
she
cousin to
corrected
not be too
her.
Skinny. Shame as a motivator is a powerful tool. So the reason I sit over there is fat shaming worse than skinny shaming. Well, you could argue that shaming somebody in order to motivate them towards a healthy lifestyle is actually a good thing.
That's what I'm saying. You're a fat bitch. Get in the gym. Don't get mad at me.
Now, I have a lot
Go
of
to the
interest in
gym.
Hearing your story about
You
how
too
were
skinny,
told
motherfucker.
when you were
Eat.
a child.
Go
I was like a
eat.
newborn baby, like health, just everything's just been on that end where I've never known anything about being skinny or being fit or being athletic. I've never known anything about that.
Probably
Yeah.
your situation. I
But
don't
you've been eating lettuce and ice all your life.
think shame necessarily
Fuck
would
outta
motivate
here.
you, but for somebody where it is a option. So for instance, if you watch TLC, you watch My 600-Pound Life, 1,000-Pound Sisters, Family by the Ton, all of them can do it. All of them have had this systemic issue
That's
of
the thing,
weight
though. I
gain.
have watched those like as a younger person, and it would make me feel disgusted with me when I was a kid, so it would make me worse, and it made my mental health worse. Because then I'm like, is that how like
Because you're a bot. I'm sorry. You're a bot then.
everybody?
If you're looking at somebody saying, okay, well, yeah, they're fat, I'm gonna get canceled, bro. You're a bot. I'm sorry. That's the nicest way I can put it, man.
Common.
I don't think we should shame anyone to do anything. I think everyone deserves to like themselves enough to like enjoy life. And if you do that as a fat person, okay. If you do it as a skinny person, also chill. It's not my business.
I think okay. And the conclusion, what everybody in this world should do is just go to the gym. It's not, the goal isn't to lose weight, gain weight. The goal is to be healthy and go to the gym.
Category.
That's
I
the
do
best way
think
to put it,
some
bro.
cases. I think that there has been good fat shaming towards me and bad fat shaming. Bad fat shaming.
I
is
think-
just,
I mean,
you know,
they're
somebody just
kinda
saying, "You're
yapping."
fat," things like that. That doesn't really work. But what does work is
Alright.
somebody looking at me and
Did
saying,
culture
"You're
have
fat."
positive effects?
Here's one thing.
I'm not, okay. We seen the video. How long is this so far? 20 minutes. It's already a 20-minute video, bro. It's a 20-minute video. So, if you guys like the video, like, comment, subscribe. What's wrong with my shoulder, bro? Alright, you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. You feel me? That's about it. Click!